All right, Cowboys Nation. It's time to talk about something that's been buzzing all over the internet. George Pickens joining the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure you've heard the news by now, and if you're anything like me, you probably couldn't wait to see the aftermath of this massive move. But now that the dust has settled, we're starting to see all the reactions and opinions pop up from fans, analysts, and everyone in between. Some people are all in, while others, well, they're still questioning the decision. But here's the thing. This move is bigger than just another trade. You see, George Pickens isn't just any wide receiver. The internet was on fire when the Cowboys made this move, and I've got to say, it feels like Jerry and the crew might finally be showing us something we've been waiting for. This trade wasn't just about adding talent to the roster, it was about showing the league that the Cowboys are serious. The landscape is changing, and I'm starting to hear people say it. The Cowboys are moving different now. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what does Chad Ochocinco have to say about all of this? Well, that's exactly what we're about to dive into. Chad's take on Pickens coming to Dallas might be the most honest, no-holds-barred reaction yet. So, before we jump into all the hype, let me ask you, did you expect the Cowboys to make a move like this? Yes or no? If you're feeling this shift in the Cowboys' strategy, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next breakdown of this trade. Now let's talk facts, because we're just getting started. So let's get into what Chad Ochocinco had to say about the Cowboys picking up George Pickens. And trust me, his words are worth listening to. Ochocinco, who's no stranger to big moves in the NFL, didn't hold back. He went straight to the point and said something I think all Cowboys fans need to hear. First, Ochocinco made it clear that, regardless of what anyone thinks about the Steelers' side of the trade, the Cowboys absolutely won this deal. Forget the fact that Pickens had his issues in Pittsburgh. This is about Dallas getting a talented receiver who honestly needed a change of scenery. And where better than America's team? Now, Ochocinco wasn't just talking about Pickens' talent. He was looking at the bigger picture. He said, and I quote, "You just made Dallas better. And let me tell you, he's absolutely right. Think about it. With CeeDee, Lamb as the #1 guy, and now George Pickens coming in as another #1 wide receiver, Dak Prescott's job just got a whole lot easier. You're talking about two playmakers who can stretch the field, make tough catches, and put up big numbers. This changes the dynamic of the Cowboys' offense for the better. But here's the real kicker. Ochocinco believes this move could be the game changer for the NFC East. And honestly, I can see it. With teams like the Eagles, who have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, and the Commanders boasting weapons like Terry McLaurin, the Cowboys had to keep up. And by adding Pickens, well, it's clear the Cowboys now have a legit shot at making some serious noise in the division. But what do you think? Do you feel like this move makes the Cowboys the front-runners in the NFC East now? Drop a yes or no in the comments. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and ring that notification bell. Trust me, we've got plenty more on the way to break down this exciting new chapter for the Cowboys. All right, so now we've got to talk about how this move impacts Dak Prescott. If you've been following the Cowboys for a while, you know that Dak has had his fair share of criticism over the years. But here's the thing. Adding a guy like George Pickens can only help Dak take that next step as a quarterback. Let's be real for a second. Dak is already one of the top quarterbacks in the league, but sometimes he's had to carry the load all by himself. With CeeDee Lamb as his main target, the Cowboys' offense could only go so far. But now, with two legit #1 wide receivers in Lamb and Pickens, Dak's job just got way easier. Think about it. More weapons means more opportunities to spread the ball around, take more chances, and open up the playbook. Chad Ochocinco was spot on when he said that Dak is probably thanking the football gods right now. And honestly, I think a lot of us would be too if we were in his shoes. Now, it's not just about CeeDee anymore. You've got another big-time target in Pickens who can do it all, run deep routes, catch tough balls in traffic, and even make those jaw-dropping plays you love to see. That makes defenses have to pick their poison. And if the offensive line can hold up and give Dak time to let those plays develop, this offense could be a nightmare for any defense. But of course, we all know there are still some questions, like who will step up as the third receiver and how the running game will factor in. But before we get into all that, I want to hear your thoughts. With Pickens now in the mix, do you think Dak will finally take that next step and lead this team deep into the playoffs? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget, if you're enjoying the breakdowns, hit that like button and subscribe for more Cowboys content. Now, let's zoom out a bit and talk about the bigger picture. What does this addition of George Pickens mean for the NFC East? Because let's face it, the Cowboys are in a tough division, and making moves like this is all about putting them in a better position to compete with the Eagles, Commanders, and Giants. First off, let's talk about the Eagles. The reigning NFC champs have one of the most stacked rosters in the league with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. They've got the firepower, no doubt, but now the Cowboys have their own lethal duo in Lamb and Pickens. That gives them a fighting chance when it comes to going toe-to-toe with Philly. If the Cowboys can keep up on offense, and with Pickens now added to the mix, that's a real possibility. Things could get interesting in the NFC East this year. And it's not just the Eagles we're worried about. The Commanders also have a strong receiving core with Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, while the Giants' offense, though still a bit of a question mark, has playmakers like Darren Waller. The good news for the Cowboys is that Pickens provides an element of unpredictability that no other team in the division can match. But there's something else to consider too. Dak has always been solid against division rivals. So now, with Pickens in the fold, I'm looking at the NFC East landscape and thinking, the Cowboys could very well end up taking the division crown this year. Yep, you heard that right. I'm saying it now. Don't be surprised if the Cowboys take the NFC East. And it could all come down to that one key addition. Pickens brings the kind of explosiveness that can change the game in ways that could give the Cowboys the edge they need. Do you think the Cowboys will claim the NFC East this year? Or are you still a little skeptical? Vote below. Yes or no. I want to hear your predictions. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. The road to the NFC East title is going to be wild. Now that we've broken down the specifics about George Pickens and his impact on the offense, let's talk about the broader implications for the Cowboys' overall strategy moving forward. This is more than just a single player. This move signals a shift in philosophy for the Cowboys. As Chad Ochocinco said, the Cowboys are now positioned to score points, lots of them. With Dak, Lamb, and Pickens, the offense looks more dynamic than ever. But it's not just about putting up points. It's about making life easier for Dak Prescott. Adding a top-tier wide receiver like Pickens gives Dak another weapon in his arsenal, and with the Eagles' strong roster and the Commanders' growing confidence, the Cowboys can't afford to just coast by. They've got to bring their A-game, especially in the high-stakes NFC East. But it's not just the offense that's getting the upgrade. Remember, the Cowboys have been addressing the defensive side of the ball, too. Players like Donovan Ezeuruaku and Dante Fowler are part of the defensive makeover, and with Mozzie Smith expected to take a big step this season, the defense could be just as dangerous as the offense. It's that balanced approach that could really set the Cowboys apart from their rivals. If the defense can shore up its weaknesses, particularly against the run, and the offense keeps firing on all cylinders, we might just be looking at a team that's not just competing, but dominating. And you know what's really exciting? The Cowboys have shifted into win-now mode. The combination of adding Pickens and strengthening both sides of the ball suggests that this is their time. It's all about capitalizing on this window while Dak's playing at a high level, and this move makes it clear. The Cowboys are going all in. But here's where I want to ask you. Do you think this is the year the Cowboys take that next step? Can George Pickens be the key to making that happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to hear where you stand. And if you've been enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep the notifications on because we've got plenty more to come on George Pickens and how he fits into the Cowboys' future.